Hey guys, it's the Music Man Reviewer here, back with another video. Well, it's my first video in a while, actually, and it's actually my first Black Series review, hopefully one of many. For this review, I picked two of my favorite figures, that's the Child and Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian. Grogu Dash to the Child is less of a figure and more of an accessory to Mando, but I definitely couldn't review one without the other, so yeah, let's get right into it. So here we have Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian. I thought it would be best if we started with him first since, you know, he's like more of an actual figure and Grogu is like not even an inch tall. He comes with 3 accessories, one of them being his long rifle, which he disintegrates his enemies with, the other being his pistol, and the third being his jetpack. I have some problems with that, but we'll get into that a bit later. Here's a close-up of what he looks like sitting in his tray still. It holds the accessories pretty nice. Sometimes this could get a little flimsy. Other than that, it looks pretty nice. I keep them in the box most of the time, but I take them in and out if I want to take some pictures of them or anything. So getting them all out of the package, you could definitely see that this figure is very, very nice and looks just incredible. The sculpt work is fantastic. Usually Hasbro does a great job on sculpting. Sometimes they skimp out on the details, but not in this case. The sculpting and all the work that went into it is very, very well done. He stands really nicely. He gets into a lot of poses fairly easily. You can see that he has a little pouch there. He has his armor plate here. This is reused from the first issue of The Mandalorian, I believe. Same with this leg armor piece here, as well as the canister. From the knees down, I believe, is all reused from the first Mandalorian. He has the Season 1 armor plate here because I believe they started working on this before the Season 2 poster was revealed, so they couldn't really know that his armor plate would change in the second season. He has his wrist gauntlets here. They look exactly like they do in the show. They could be reused, but I think they're new. I could be wrong. They're painted in a nice silver color there, but those are 100% reused. But I think they're repainted. He has the same thing on this side, except he has the whistling birds, which look really great. I would have preferred if they kind of added some detail to the front of the whistling birds, but I understand why they didn't. The shoulder pads are new. The chest plate's new. The holster and this whole belt assembly here, that's complete reuse from the first issue of The Mandalorian. When I say reuse, I mean that they reuse certain parts, put them on this version of The Mandalorian, which makes sense because it's the same outfit pretty much, just with different armor pieces. And he has the Mud Horde insignia there. So let's get right into articulation. Whatever assembly he has going on underneath his helmet, I can't really make out what it is. Whether it's a ball or a hinge, I can't really tell. But whatever it is, he doesn't really look up all that much. He could look down, but not as much as if he had a cloth cape, it would be much better. He gets a lot of tilt, though. The plastic cape kind of hinders it a little bit, but still very, very good. He has a single-jointed elbow right there. It comes up to about... yeah, it's about 90 degrees there, and then there's a swivel. Same thing on the other side. Swivel. His arms go up about, almost about 90 degrees. The shoulder pad goes up and over. It's a soft plastic, so it kind of bends over and gets out of the way, so you won't really have any problems there. It only goes up about so far without it pushing itself down. He has nice ab crunch. He doesn't really crunch. He crunches forward pretty well. He arcs back pretty well, too. He could tilt his entire torso side to side. Not that great, but it's pretty good. He could kick forward to about there. The holster kind of gets in the way on this side. He gets up to, okay, it's about 90. Single jointed knee. I believe, oh no, double jointed knee. Oh, that's right, because I reused the legs from the first Mandalorian. Oh, wow, that works out pretty well. He has a swivel and pivot at the ankle, side to side, rotating pin for some rocker there. He can go up and down pretty well. He goes forward. He goes down a lot. Let's see how forward he can get. Oh, he gets pretty good forward too. That'll be good for some dynamic posing. Let's see how good his out is. Oh wow, that is very, very good. Wow, not that the Mandalorian would be using that, but yeah, that's very, very good. I've had this figure for a while and I never noticed that. So for his accessories, he of course comes with his long rifle, which can peg into his back there. You have to kind of plug it through both the strap and he has a hole indented into his back armor plate there. So that kind of works out okay, but it's not the strongest connection and it definitely doesn't plug in all the way. As you can see, it only goes in about that far, and just by shaking it around a bit, it's pretty loose in there, and most of the time when you're moving them around it falls off just like that. But it has nice detail work. It has brown at the stock. It is nicely painted brown at the stock there. It's painted silver up by the trigger, and then it's painted this metallic silver color up at the fork area, I guess you would call it, and it's painted black from the scope downwards. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's not extremely detailed, but for a $20 action figure, it works out pretty well. His next accessory is actually his jetpack. This accessory it's pretty great. As you know, he uses the jetpack pretty frequently in season 2 and a little bit in season 1. It works out okay. The thing is, though, he's supposed to have his cape and jetpack on at the same time, and as you can see, that does not look very great there. The best way to do it, I found, if you are insistent upon using this plastic cape, is kind of push the cape under and then put the jetpack over as best as you can. It's kind of hard to do on camera, especially in the setup I am now, but hold up, let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. If you could kind of get the cape to swing over and stick underneath, then it doesn't really look all that bad if you can kind of get it like that, but the jetpack usually falls off. It would have been a lot better if he came with a cloth good cape. He could have sported his jetpack alongside his cape, which I know everyone would have liked because that's the way it's done in the show. It's kind of disappointing that they threw in this plastic cape and reused it from the old Mandalorian instead of giving us a soft goods cape, but honestly, what else did you expect? It's Hasbro. They don't really do cloth capes too often. Next up, we have his pistol. It's painted brown at the stock right there, and then painted silver everywhere else. I don't believe that's completely accurate because the pistol is more black than silver in the show. At least that's how I remember it. It gets into his hands pretty well. His hands are kind of stiff, so sometimes it could be a little pain in the butt to get in there. You just kind of gotta push and twist. Sometimes it gives you a little bit of resistance, and it's pretty difficult. There you go. You can get his finger into the trigger guard too. Looks pretty good. You could get him into some pretty nice poses with that. It could also go into his holster. This strap unpegs and lifts up, and then you could stick the pistol into the holster, and then you could stick it down in and then plug it back in, and yeah, there you go. Sometimes this little strap likes to poke out a bit there, and sometimes it comes undone, but honestly, it's not that big of a problem. That's pretty much it for the Mandalorian. Now let's get into Grogu. So if you couldn't already tell, Grogu is very small. He is about less than an inch tall, I believe. But, yeah, there isn't really much to him. It's just kind of this main sculpt here, and then his head and arms plug into the main body there. As you can see, they're just kind of on balls, and they pop into the little slots that they have for them. The arms are pretty loose and tend to fall off a lot, and you could actually lose them pretty easily because of how small they are. Sorry, I was looking around for it. It just kind of plugs back in, nice and easy, but it can be a little bit frustrating because as we'll get into it in a moment, the articulation is pretty hindered. They sculpted his little feet on the bottom, which I thought was a nice touch. They didn't really have to do that. These logos kind of take away from it, though. As you could tell, this is the older version, not the newer version. On the newer version, they actually painted the collar and the cuffs on his sleeves a lighter color, which is more accurate to the TV show. I'm actually thinking about picking that one up because for $10 to have a more accurate Baby Yoda, it's kind of worth it to me. As I said before, the articulation is kind of hindered. The arm only goes up to about... It really can't lift up all that much. That's about what you're going to get, just lifting it straight up. But if you twist it and lay it flat like that, you could get him to hold his... As you can see, it's very frustrating to move his arms. You could twist his hands. They're on a little ball joint too, his wrists. They move up and down and they twist side to side like you'd expect. The arm only moves up to about there and can twist, so he could hold his little accessories, which we'll get into in a moment. The right arm is a bit better. This one could be more used as his force arm because it could stick out pretty well, and you could have him look in whatever direction he's using the force, and that actually looks pretty good there. But his left arm, for whatever reason, at least my left, it's pretty frustrating. But other than that, his right arm seems to be pretty good. The arms do tend to pop out a lot, but with such a small figure, what are you going to do? For his accessories, he comes with the little frog, the ball, the bowl, and these accessories are so small that they give you a little case for them. And I'm actually not going to take them out right now because this little ball it's incredibly easy to lose, and I really don't want to lose that. The frog in the bowl I would take out, but if I do all that, then I'll probably end up losing the ball. So I'll just keep these in here for now. You kind of get the point. You could have Baby Yoda hold the bowl, and you could have the frog sit next to him, and you can have him hold the ball as well, but it tends to roll off his hands, and then you'll lose it, and it'll fall off into your rug or to your floor, and you'll never see it again. But yeah, it's a great little figure. They probably should have just packed it in with Din Djarin, to be honest with you, which they did in a $35 version. Don't even get me into that. That's kind of ridiculous. So let's pull over Mandalorian and look at them both together. As you can see, the Mandalorian actually holds Baby Yoda quite well. He has a pretty strong grip on him. All you have to do is kind of hook his arm to the undersuit there, and he holds him fairly well. You definitely can't buy one without the other. If you get the Mandalorian, you have to get Baby Yoda. And if you get Baby Yoda, you have to get the Mandalorian. I guess you don't have to, but they pair really, really well together. All in all, these two figures are pretty great, other than the few nitpicks I pointed out with Baby Yoda's hands and Din Djarin's cape and jetpack not really attaching properly. But I do have another video that's coming soon where I will address how to actually make a cloth goods cape for this Mandalorian, and so he can have his jetpack on, as well as a little satchel here, so he could carry Baby Yoda around in it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you come back next time, whether it's the video about how to make his cape, or his satchel here, or it's another review. I'm sorry if this seemed a little jumbly or not 1000%. It's only my first review, and I'll only get better at this. So yeah, hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.